Welcome to the all-new Marvelicious Toys podcast, hosted by the astonishing Arnie, the mighty Marjorie, and Captain Justin.
Nah, just Justin.
Join us at MarveliciouSToys.com to find thousands of pictures of the items reviewed, find links to our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages, and much more.
Hello and welcome to Marvelicious Toys, and welcome to our 10th annual Holiday Gift Guide and Black Friday sales. I'm Marjorie.
This is Arnie.
This is Justin. Man, we're old.
Yes, we are.
10 years! I feel like Jeremy Piven in Grosse Point Blank. 10 years!
It's a great movie.
Yeah, you had a toddler when we started this.
Yes. And now I have a moody teenager. I'm not talking about my kid. I'm talking about our show. We're a moody teenager now.
Yes, pretty much so. We're going to be able to drive soon, maybe.
So, welcome back to our Black Friday sale and holiday gift guide. Black Friday, yeah, we're going to talk about it. Our store's even open in most places. I know a lot of stores around us have closed in the past week.
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention because I have no intention of leaving the house on the blackest of Black Fridays we've known as a country.
We never go anyway because you can get just about everything online, and there's nothing I want that bad to wait in line 10 hours in the Midwest cold of November. So, and I have noticed when I was looking up a lot of these ads, stores are actually closing on Thanksgiving Day. Like, they're closing at like 4 p.m. or like 2 p.m., whereas they used to just stay open and then get ready for the sales or open at 6 p.m. I think this is finally the one where retail workers, while, you know, they're in the front lines, they're not going to have to work on Thanksgiving in a lot of places, which is a nice bonus, and it's a shame it took a pandemic to get there.
Yeah, but the bummer part of that is, you know, probably won't be able to spend time with extended family anyway because of, you know.
Yeah. Hey, you can have Thanksgiving off, but you can't see anybody.
Yeah.
I saw the CDC come out with a snarky Facebook ad. Thanksgiving leftovers don't taste good when you're on a ventilator. Like, damn, CDC!
You know how they puree up the turkey and cranberry into a nice little slop that they just feeding tube it through you?
Well, before we talk about what few sales that have been announced for online, I do want to say we've come out with quite a few shows recently, and it's possible you may have gotten out of the habit of checking your RSS feed, or iTunes may have paused it because there hasn't been a download in a while. So just FYI, in late October and November, we have put out 4 shows counting this one. We resurrected a lost show discussing the Not a Comic-Con reveals, and then we put out a show discussing the retro action figures. We put out a show reviewing the Venom Pool Wave of Legends, and so you can find those all at MarveliciousToys.com, or if you're subscribed to us, check your feed, because they are all right there for you.
We have been busy.
And we're going to stay that way. And as for deals, you know, one of the things I've been busy doing is playing video games, and it looks like that's about all there is on sale.
And it's not even really on sale, necessarily. It's kind of like, here's the price?
Yeah, actually, no. I mean, we've talked about it. It seems like this is now the running theme of our show, is how much the Avengers game disappointed me. But Marvel's Avengers, which came out 2 months ago, 3 months ago, is now half off or more. It was a $59.99 game for Black Friday, $26.99 at GameStop, or $30 at Walmart.
So, okay, with that in mind, is it a good $27 game? Like physical media in hand?
I only spent like 5 or 6 hours playing it, and then I was pretty much, like, I had my fill. I didn't finish the story mission or anything. I went to play Miles Morales, which is very fun. So, it's up to you. I mean, if you're a completist, or if you like these team-based games, or you want to see if you can find somebody else online where you're, you know, on, at least if you're on the PC server, you're loading the game and like, hello, 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 hello. then, I mean, yeah, pick it up. It's certainly much better at $25 than at $60, $70, $170 with a Gentle Giant statue. I wouldn't complain nearly as much about the game if it was value priced. But what they're trying to do is they finally started selling stuff on their digital store. So now it's the old adage, give away the razor, sell the blades.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's good to know. Like, $27 might be my price point to hop in on this just to check it out.
And then the much, much better game, Spider-Man for the PS4, Game of the Year edition, so you don't have to pay anything for all of that extra content that came out, the 3 downloadable missions. Amazing price. No pun intended. $20.
Nice. And that's the one that's been out for a couple years now, right?
Yeah, I think it came out in 2018.
Yep.
But, I mean, I just beat it this year, so it hasn't lost its appeal.
No, I'm just saying because I know it's a little confusing because I think there's a brand new Miles Morales Spider-Man game out for PS5, right?
Right.
Okay.
It's also out for PS4.
Okay.
They released Miles Morales, claimed it was a PS5 launch title, but then said they were also releasing it for PS4, but with lesser graphics rendering. So it's not a PlayStation 5 exclusive, but was made with the intent of being on your PS5.
Right on.
So it's a little confusing. It is basically a sequel / add-on pack. There's not nearly as much content in Miles Morales as there is in the main Spider-Man game. But it's not like you need the original game to play it.
Ah, yeah. Not to add more confusion. It's not literally an add-on.
Also on sale, the Iron Man VR game. I've played this a little bit, and it is so much fun. I played it at a convention when it was actually safe to just walk up where somebody had put their face on something, and then I put my face on something. I did pick this up. I have not played it yet. I love PlayStation VR games, though. I've played the heck out of Doom and things. And this one, yeah, it actually has a story mission, and it makes it feel like you are Iron Man in flight.
Nice. VR games always remind me of the episode of Community where the dean got into the VR world.
So in other Black Friday deals, if you're not into video games, Target has all toys buy one, get one half off, which is actually running already. It started Sunday, and some Targets are putting out the Cyborg and Negative Spider-Man, and they're ringing up as buy one, get one half off. So score. And it's all toys in the toy section, which is kind of cool.
Except Lego. I mean, it's...
Oh, yeah. I mean, Lego. I think it goes without saying that's not Lego, right? I mean, do you really need a...
It's not Lego, and it's not any of the stuff in that collector section that's always over by electronics, so like the NECA and whatever else is over there.
Yeah, I don't think for some reason that stuff is toys, but good point. I hadn't thought about that. So, not all toys.
Hashtag not all toys.
Yeah. They've also got a toy by Jada, which remember them? They make those little metal figurines and then the bigger metal figurines. Remember those guys?
And then the cars I was obsessed with at Walgreens earlier this year?
Yes. They have a Spider-Man 1/14th scale buggy for $20. It's remote control also.
I'll pass on it because it looks a little too toyish for me. If it was the comic accurate Spider-Man Dune buggy, though, I might have had to.
Yeah, this doesn't look accurate except for, like, Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's got a monster truck feel to it for sure.
Yeah. JCPenney has 25% off select toys, clothing, and costumes.
JCPenney has toys?
Every once in a while at Christmas.
They're kind of like Kohl's, though, where 25% off equals the normal price at Walmart and Target.
Yeah, don't buy anything full price at JCPenney. And actually, this is a pretty blah discount for JCPenney. Usually they do, like, the clothes 50% off, and I thought costumes were a very odd thing to specify.
Yeah, I wonder if their customer base doesn't know what role play type of stuff is, so they just called it costumes.
That could be. That's a good point.
Like the Venom mask.
Yeah.
Over at Meijer, which is a Midwestern chain, this is not Fred Meyer, the West Coast chain. All Marvels buy one, get one half off, and all puzzles are buy one, get one half off, which is kind of a great deal because everybody's been doing puzzles, and it sounds like a great wintertime activity also.
Nice.
Now, there are some assorted various online stores doing Black Friday deals, but they don't release ads, so a lot of that I don't have ahead of time. It just says watch. So, check out your usual Sideshow, Twink, all the usual places, and I'm sure you're going to find some Black Friday sales. And if you have a local comic shop, that might be a great place to start too.
And if you follow Marvelicious Toys on Facebook, Twitter, not so much Instagram because you can't post links on Instagram, but on Facebook and Twitter, or just go to our website, I'm going to keep a running blog post as well as post to those when really good bargains come up, as we find out about them Black Friday through Cyber Monday. And I think there's going to be some pretty big discounts on Cyber Monday that we don't know about. And Amazon hasn't yet revealed the entire breadth of their sales. Might keep an eye on that Thanos children's set just in case. Follow us and we will let you know of all the real bargains and not just the, hey, this won't sell, so we're calling it a Black Friday sale. Kind of like maybe a Jada remote control truck. But let's get into our holiday gift guide. Might I just preface by saying this is a show I look forward to every year because all three of us, plus others on our team who help out, Andrew, Daryl, Brock, Curtis, everybody kind of pitches in ideas. And I absolutely love seeing, because it's almost like unwrapping a gift. What am I going to buy myself this show?
I'm right there with you. Like, I view this show as like oh yeah, that's something I do want to pick up.
And just a reminder of kind of the ground rules we set. While Marjorie and I at least completely understand the concept of Merry Christmas, it's a piece of paper from an inkjet that tells you what's coming in June. On our gift guide, we keep it to stuff that you could actually get mostly in time to wrap under the tree. But there's one item I did put on this list I do think you'd probably end up giving a sheet of paper for, but the retro Marvel figures from Hasbro. As we mentioned last show, we don't think these are getting the love they deserve, and to get a complete set of 8 as a Christmas gift, even if it comes a little closer to Valentine's Day, I think would make a pretty solid gift.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think it's a perfect gift idea because, like you said, it's something you might not pay for yourself. You might think, I mean, they're cool, but I don't know if I want to spend $80 on just this, rather, put it toward the statue or other figures. But yeah, if I got this as a gift, I'd be super excited.
Yeah, and it's gifty because it's a set. It comes in a nice package.
And now I'm thinking, because it's getting to be Christmas time, I'm like, you could order a second set of these and just put like a little gold string around their neck and use them as ornaments.
Oh, yeah, you could totally do that.
Yeah.
And we usually skip action figures because if you're buying for a Marvel collector, you may not be like, so did they get the Target exclusive White Storm and Rogue, or I don't want to buy them something, they probably already have it. But there are some Marvel Legends that make that a non-issue. The Troop Builders on HasbroPulse.com.
Yep. I think they're designed to be gift-giving items because, hey, even if I have 10 AIM soldiers, hey, a couple more of them, join the ranks, buddy.
Yeah, these are $15 each. And if you're a Pulse Premium member, it's free shipping. If you get over a certain dollar amount, I can't remember if it's 25 or 50, you get free shipping. And yeah, there's not such a thing as having too many of these.
Not at all. And whether you're a collector or yourself, if you're just buying for yourself right now, if you keep stuff on card or if you open stuff, you might want to get a diorama set that will force you to open up your stuff. You're always looking for cool ways to display stuff. And NECA put out this really cool city block set. And it's an instant diorama. It's 3D. It's like the front of a building, and there's a little cardboard thing in the back that has a cityscape in it. And to be honest with you, I think this first came from a turtle set. Like, I think at Comic-Con, if you bought the Turtles, the exclusive was you got a version of this with it. But they were smart enough to say, hey, it looks just like a city street, so why not any other 6-inch action figures? So this is one of those things where even if your collector has one, another one could sit right next to it and build out the display even more.
I actually did get 2 of these. First of all, the cityscape at top is reversible, so you can have day or night. And while
Nice.
this fits perfectly with Marvel Legends, what I wanted this for was my Mezco 1/12 scale figures. I thought this would be really cool for that. And the second one I got to actually take outside and do like action figure photography and sunlight and things.
Oh, yeah.
And It scales perfectly. The thing I need to sell about this is not cardboard. Big Bad Toy Store also has a number of cardboard dioramas. I've bought them. They look pretty decent, but this is solid, heavy, sturdy diorama that's going to really feel at home with your Legends or your Mezcos or any 1/12 scale line as compared to just being a backdrop.
Yeah, it really is an adult playset, you know? I mean, it's solid, heavy plastic, except for the cardboard backdrop. But yeah, it's a high quality thing. And Big Bad Toy Store has them, but that's not the only place you can get them. I've seen them on Amazon and stuff like that. So anywhere you can find this NECA thing, it's well worth the $110.
And because it's NECA, I think a lot of Marvel Legends collectors might miss out on this. So it would be a great gift. It might be something, the person you're buying for doesn't know about.
Exactly. And in that same vein, here's something that I've been doing lately is, I don't even know how I came across this. I think I might have been looking for something specific, like a shopping cart or something like that for a diorama. And I found out that the world of wrestling figures, which is something that I just really don't pay attention to. I'm not into wrestling. Oh boy, they have just a whole bunch of people making cool little real world accessories for these wrestling characters. Stuff like tables and computers and water bottles, office chairs.
I'm loving the pimpin' headphones that are gold.
Right? So this is just a sample of, some of the stuff that if you do a search for wrestling figure accessories on, like, say, Amazon, stuff like this will come up. And I think, any of it's cool. I mean, they have folding chairs and all this type of stuff. So the one that we have on screen is just kind of a sample of something, but like all this stuff in this picture would be great. I'd love an office chair and a fire extinguisher to throw up in a diorama.
Justin, this is so strange because you put these items on the list. We haven't talked about it, but I have also been in an accessory buying phase. It started on eBay for me when I found some Legend scale comic books and Daily Bugle newspapers and things, and it extended, and there's a website called Prime Arcade that is really awesome. I'll share one of my pie in the sky ideas. I hinted at it on our last show, is when I get my figures all displayed, I want to have an arcade where the Punisher has beat the crap out of people and like smashed somebody's head into an arcade machine and things. Well, Prime Arcade has a large number of arcade games in 1/12 scale, including the 6-player X-Men game, Marvel vs. Capcom, Pac-Man, and they have the side art and a graphic on the front that's a sticker that is just Rampage. It will take you back to an 80s arcade, I promise you. And they're $50 a piece. He also has like vending machines, like snack machines and
nice
change machines.
Yeah, all this stuff is great. It's a whole new world, to me, actually, because like I hadn't even really considered it before, but like we're in so many of these groups on Facebook where there's people taking awesome action figure shots with their figures and stuff like that. And you start seeing some of the stuff in the background. You're like, where did they get that dumpster? Where did they get that arcade machine? So you start digging around and this whole new world opens up and it's like, wow, I collect more than just action figures now. I guess I'm buying a miniature dumpster. I
think a lot of this has been opened up by 3D printing, but this toy dumpster is something really special because it opens up. I want everything at the bottom. I want the garbage cans, the recycle bins, the dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
And something else in the way of dioramas that you may not think of, but Disney at the stores or shopdisney.com have this line of toy box figures, and they've been doing it for a couple of years, and usually around the holidays they come out with a decent-ish set. This year they actually came out with 2. There's an action figure set, but then there's this Iron Man Hall of Armor that comes with Iron Man and some pieces that you can add on to him, and it has the 5 bays and everything, and it's on sale for $30. It has been for a while, which is incredible for a new set, that hasn't been out that long.
Yeah.
But Chris Davis on Facebook realized these are perfect to scale with Marvel Legends, and you can build yourself an Iron Man Hall of Armor with this $30 playset.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, that looks pretty decent, and those toy box figures aren't bad. I mean, they're heavily stylized and they're kind of anime looking, which is, I think it's kind of cool. One of the gift sets they have out right now is one with Spider-Hulk and Venom, so that might be one I pick up. But this is not my eye too.
Keep in mind, you could get there's so many like little battery operated LED lights you can put in places that are inconspicuous. You could really mod these out for not much money and make a really cool Hall of Armor that has lights too.
What I really wonder, I know you couldn't fit a Hulkbuster in this, but you notice there's pegs at the top and the sides are hinged. So you could buy multiple of these sets, and I think the pegs on top would make them stackable.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, but what it is each pod, you just snap on and you can make it wider. So you could make it, there were 40 armors, give or take. So and there were, I think, 4 layers high. So you could make 10 across and 4 high by buying 8 of these sets.
Nice.
And while we're talking toy box figures, I know probably you're sick of Venom, but these two are really cool to talk about. There's a Venomized Hulk and a Venomized Spider-Man on the site that I just adore. I love the extra sculpting they put into these. They did not cheap out. These are totally new sculpts and really crazy interpretations.
Yeah, they really are fun figures, and I find myself more than not kind of being picky and choosy on these, and lately they've really upped their game on some of these Marvel ones.
I'm going to tell you right now, get that Spider-Ham. It's a vehicle set, but it actually has articulation as compared to the one coming in Marvel Legends.
Nice. Well, yeah, that Spider-Ham's also in that gift set with the Spider-Hulk and Venom, so.
Oh, yeah.
I actually like these. I think the colors are fun, especially the Hulk. I like how they did that, and I like how they've got the little faces coming off on everything, too, on the Hulk.
Yeah, the tendrils coming off that all have their own mouth like snakes.
And he's like Medusa.
Yeah, these were just wacky. And so I'm like, these are special. There's a whole line of toy box figures if somebody likes them. But even if you don't collect toy box or the person you're buying for, this could make a great under the tree gift.
Another thing that has, caught my eye while I've been out and about and just kind of rearranging my collection now and then is a couple months ago I was at the mall and I walked through the Container Store, someplace I had never been before, never really even thought about going into.
Whoa. Wait a second. I'm sorry. You didn't ever think you needed to go?
Well, it's never occurred to me I need a container. Where do I go for that?
Do you just have stuff laying around? Do you not have organization? I'm really confused. I mean, this is like a Mecca place.
Well, then I blame you for not bringing it to my attention earlier then.
I'm sorry.
We don't have one in town, and when we go out of town, Marjorie's always like, we're near a Container Store. We must go.
They're great. I mean, whether you're just somebody who likes to hang out in your kitchen or make your closets awesome, they have all that stuff. But they also have all this awesome plexiglass stuff for collectors. They have all those things that, if you ever seen somebody with a signed baseball sitting on their desk, well, they probably got their case for it at a place like this. But beyond that, they have cool little plastic risers that you can put on your shelves just to set a figure up so he's up higher than the guys in front of him. And it's all just clear little plastic, something that you wouldn't even notice, but it just makes your display seem that much more professional, instead of having, I don't know, some people might just use whatever's laying around to make a figure stand up higher. But when it's on clear plexiglass, doesn't that just feel more official and it's more important?
Yes, it adds an air of fancy to it.
Yeah, it's on display at service merchandise or something,
Let me give you guys a hint with the Container Store. If you sign up for their Pop Rewards program, you get 15% off your first purchase. And they send coupons pretty regularly for 20 to 30% off different items or just your general purchase.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in there. They have a spice rack that I bought a handful of because it's just a nice clear plexiglass 3-tiered shelf type of thing that, most normal people would use to put spices on, but it makes a great action figure riser.
Oh, the old spice rack trick. Every action figure displayer has it.
But then they have cool shelving options in there too. If you want to do like some of those, just self-hanging shelves in your office or on the wall in your collecting room, they have all that stuff too. So I don't know if, you just want to get a gift certificate for your collector or just give them some cash and set them free in the store. But Container Store is a great place for this time of year.
And also, no, Justin didn't put this on the list. We did. But with the retro carded figures and everything, I don't do much carded Legends collecting, especially of the figures in the box. I like to open them. I like to play with them. But sometimes these retro figures I really need to keep protected, and I want to keep the cards in good shape. And I know a lot of people keep their Legends in box, and Justin's company, Figure Shield, has the products I use a lot. I buy from him quite a bit. Every time I get some Marvel or Star Wars figures that I want to make sure stay in great shape while packed away or on display.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do. We're constantly trying to find new things to protect and stuff like that. And our newest clamshell is this MTB1, and we made it specifically for these retro Marvel Legends because, they've been coming out for years, but when they first came out, it was like a wave here, a wave there. And, before you know it, there's a ton of these. Like the Spider-Man stuff alone this year, there's been, I want to say 20, 25 figures, and they just keep coming out. Now there's more X-Men ones coming out. And for, like you said, Arnie, a lot of collectors buy these to keep on the card because these are for the nostalgic feel of the old style collectibles from back in the day.
Yeah, I've used these quite a bit, like I said. And again, if you're buying these as a gift, I honestly one time put an order in for 300, and it was because I know I would eventually use them. It was like, might as well. So you can't have too many of these if you're continuing to collect.
Definitely. And, we're running a special just for Marvelicious Toys listeners now. So if you want to go over and find whatever you need, site-wide, just use code MT20, and it's 20% off for all in-stock stuff. And that's running through the 5th of December. So just head over to Figure Shield and see if there's anything that you might like for your collector.
Moving on from Legends a little bit, but keeping it in the 1/12 realm, I have loved Mezco lately. I really wanted to put on here the new Ghost Rider with Cycle that I am just looking forward to so much, but that's a brand new pre-order shipping next year. But over at Big Bad Toy Store, they still have several in stock from previous years and this year that if the person you're buying for doesn't buy Mezco, these still make great one-off display pieces, or you can get a series of them. A couple I picked here. That Cyclops is actually one of my favorite figures they've done. He has a light-up visor. You put a couple of batteries down in his neck. The head just pops off. There's no get a Sunglass Hut screwdriver to undo the panel and then put the batteries in and then hope you don't scratch the thing putting back in that Hot Toys does. Here, you just pull out his neck and pop in the batteries, and then there's a little switch on that neck that is hidden that will light up his visor.
Oh, that's cool.
And then with the passing of Chadwick Boseman this year, I know a lot of people have wanted to kind of show their love for that actor through collecting. And the Hot Toy, for example, went out of stock in a blink, but you can still get the movie-based Chadwick Boseman portrait, Mezco Black Panther, and it is also an absolute gorgeous figure. Because of Chadwick, to honor him, I put the unmasked portrait here, but the mask is incredibly detailed. I love his little tooth necklace on that. The texture on these, I mean, they're about $80 a figure by and large, and they really are, in many ways, Hot Toys quality at half the size. You don't get quite as much articulation, there's not quite as many soft goods, but it is a wonderful figure line to get.
Yeah, every time we have one in hand, I've never failed to be impressed by the quality. I mean, like you said, the texture on the clothing, I'm not even sure how they do it. It's like all of these figures are basically wearing super tight spandex. And on top of that, there's textures and like shiny applications of things that just bring it to life even more than a paint app can do on any figure, So these things are always awesome, and it's a great choice, Arnie, because these make an awesome gift. Even if it's not something that your collector already gets, anybody who collects action figures would be super excited to get something of this quality.
And just to put it out there, these don't scale perfectly with Legends. They're a little bit smaller than Legends. It's funny to me how 1/12 scale can be a little over the map. I think Legends have kind of grown a little bit, maybe, but these are going to be a little short and a little narrow to put with Legends, but they make a great display on their own. And the other one I put out here, just because these are a couple more of my favorites, they, were put on sale back in 2017, but didn't ship until late 2018, from Ragnarok, Gladiator Hulk, and Gladiator Thor. They're sold separately. Hulk's around, I think, 110. Thor's around 80 something. And they're both available at Big Bad Toy Store. It's a display in 2 boxes if you buy this for somebody.
Mm-hmm. You know how you get around that different scale problem? Get somebody one of those plastic risers and you put them on different shelves and nobody will ever know.
And then speaking of Hot Toys, I put a few things in here of various price ranges. In their life-sized scale, I know a lot of things are way out of the price range, but Tony Stark's Nano Gauntlet is a smaller life-sized item, $377. It's quite a thing to just have out. I have one of these, the shiny red, the light-up gems. And you don't need anything else. You just put this near your television or home theater, and everybody's going to instantly know what it is.
It's going to be sad.
Right? It's the thing that killed Tony, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice piece. It's beautiful. And I love the shiny red, but every time I look at it, I would be like, oh, Tony, damn it.
Personally, I can't own this thing just because I know that I wouldn't be able to resist the urge to find out if you could actually put it on and complete a snap.
You can't. Spoiler alert. There's the electronics in there, and no, that one will not go over your hand. But, there's the Hasbro one for that.
Yeah.
And then if that one's a little too expensive or a little too big, they also have it in quarter scale for 119 with articulated fingers.
Getting a little closer to the snap question being answered, but
I think where the thumb and the finger are together is like almost a snap. Or if you want to go classic and instantly recognizable, the quarter scale regular Infinity Gauntlet is only $99.
Oh, nice. You can have a whole gauntlet collection going on.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the Hulk Nano Gauntlet, which is much bigger, much more expensive. There's the life-sized Infinity Gauntlet, which is huge. But these, I just tried to put a smattering out there of different scales, different price points. Or, if price is no object, if you're the kind of person who puts a ribbon on a car, how about the Deluxe Hulkbuster?
Just so we're clear, I'm not the kind of person who puts a bow on a car. And I only have $44 in Sideshow credits, so...
That takes it down to $1,106.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous piece. I mean, look how big it is in that little Sideshow scale. I mean, I've seen photos of this with infants, and it's bigger than an infant.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they couldn't even use an apple in this comparison thing because it would just kind of disappear by his feet. They had to actually use the Sideshow guy for this.
I mean, there's Hot Toys. They haven't been selling out the way they used to, Hot Toys. Some have, but there's a lot of Hot Toys in stock, ready to ship at Sideshow. As far back as 2012, they still have Chitauri foot soldiers. I don't know why.
Oh, weird.
But one of the ones I really like that they still have, it was an exclusive edition, the movie promo edition, Infinity War Captain America. They even have a $20 off and free shipping code with this one. So I paid $267 plus shipping. You can get it for $247 shipped right now. And this is an incredible version of Cap.
Oh, it absolutely is. And I'm not just saying that because he's the best Avenger.
Yeah, it's Chris Evans in his I don't give a crap, I'm wearing a beard from here on out mood. This is pre-COVID too, so he was kind of ahead of the curve, in his exile.
Yeah, he was, yes.
And then we talked about video games a little bit earlier. If the person you're shopping for has a PS5, if they're one of the really lucky ones, if you're giving them a PS5, if that's one of the super, super lucky ones, or even if they have a PS4, Miles Morales is out for all those platforms. If you liked the original Spider-Man, I actually find this to be slightly more fun. They've added some stuff because Miles Morales can go invisible, and he has that Venom punch that stuns people. I've been playing this and just enjoying it totally. But for the PS5, there's also this Ultimate Launch Edition, and what that gets you is the remastered Spider-Man game. All the textures and graphics are updated to the PS5 level, and I'm going to be perfectly honest, I'm playing that thing again. I'm going to play it start to finish on the PS5, even though I beat it on the PS4. It's one of the best games I ever played, and to play it with better graphics still, and so you get both here for $70 at GameStop.
Nice.
The remastered Spider-Man isn't available on disc, it's just a digital download, but you get it included here for like $10 or $15 more than just Miles Morales alone.
Nice, and I gotta be honest with you, this game is the reason why I'm gonna get a PS5 when they become a little easier to obtain. You know, I never had a PS4. I've been a Xbox One guy for a while, but this game is making me come over because I missed out on the original Spider-Man game, and if this thing's still available with that version of the game too, then double win.
It's awesome. It is truly what made me just go nuts trying to pre-order a PS5, and I eventually had to get one of those GameStop overpriced bundles, you know, where, I mean, I got stuff I'd use. It came with this game. It came with a controller and things, but it's all like, yeah, you gotta buy all of this if you want the system.
Right.
And continuing with video games, I love arcade one-up systems. Now, these are, you know, they're almost like action figures. They're 3/4 scale arcade games. They're not full-sized, and owning a full-sized arcade game, I can say actually scaling it down 25% is a good thing. Those things are huge and heavy and monstrous, and you don't realize when you're in an arcade how big it is until you get it to your house. And Arcade 1-Up looks great. They had one last year that was Marvel Superheroes. This time they're doing the Marvel vs. Capcom set. And what you have here is the Best Buy exclusive bundle, $499. It has exclusive art on the side and comes with a stool so you can sit and play.
Nice. And it looks like it comes with that riser too, because these things, like you said, they're 3/4 scale, so which means you can either play on your knees or need that stool.
Yeah, it comes with the riser. Most of them do, and yeah, you do want the riser if it doesn't come with it. Some of the old ones like Pac-Man, it was sold separately. So now they've really started including them. These are still in stock. The regular version, which has different art but the same games, was apparently only sold at Walmart and is currently sold out. But I kind of wanted both just because they had totally different art. You know, they really look like different systems. And trying to build out that arcade.
And I do like that they're starting to add more games to a single cabinet. That just makes sense at this price, you know, because most people aren't going to go out and buy, you know, one of the Marvel arcades this year, and then next year, oh, they came out with another Marvel game. So now, next thing you know, you've got 5 of these things in your basement.
There's only one game that's shared between last year's cabinet and this year's cabinet. The cabinet last year, which I can't find anywhere except like Facebook Marketplace, had Marvel Superheroes, X-Men Children of the Atom, and The Punisher. This one has X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of the Superheroes, X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, and X-Men Children of the Atom.
Oh, that's cool.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at you. It's like you're doing a sales pitch.
I just like these. What could I say? I wanted to buy 2 of the same one. I'm apparently a fan.
I know.
They also came out with something I'm not such a fan of. I think you need to know the collector for it, but it's a pinball machine, which I got really excited for. I love pinball. It's again 3/4 scale. It has cool Marvel art on it. There's an exclusive version with Thanos. The only problem is, it's not real pinball. It's a monitor in that machine, not actual moving parts.
Well, that's
Yeah, no.
weird.
Yeah, I agree with you, Arnie. I'm a pinball purist. I think we all grew up in that resurgence of pinball in the mid '90s, where they started coming out with all these cool movie property games.
I can't count the amount of money I spent on the T2 pinball machine.
Oh yeah, that was the beginning. T2 was awesome, and Addams Family was my favorite game of all time. But you know, if I'm gonna buy a pinball machine, it's gonna be a legit pinball machine. And this thing even looks like it's somewhat scaled down.
Yeah, it's about 3/4 scale. It's to scale with the arcade games. It does have 10 different boards on it, but man, to me, I want to feel the flippers flip and everything. But that's me. If you know somebody who's like really down and loves the Marvel pinball games that are out there for like the Switch and things and your iPhone, this might be absolutely their jam. This just isn't, you know, I'm not going to have the arcade 1-up pinball machine next to the arcades. I'll wait and see if they ever put out a real one. But I know real pinball machines, they break so much. Maintenance on those is such a problem that I could see why they might be hesitant to put one out at the consumer level.
Right. I guess what we're saying here is it's almost more of a warning, like to say, hey, if you know somebody and you're thinking about getting them a pinball machine because you know they like pinball, this might not be the actual right thing to get them, is what I'm saying.
I think there will be people who love it. I really do. I think there will
Sure.
be people who like it, maybe just as a display item.
Right. I'm just saying don't assume somebody who likes pinball would love this thing because they might be like, oh, okay, thank you. You know?
Yeah, I definitely make sure for the price it's something, but I mean, honestly, I think kids would love it. It's kid sized, it's a little lower and smaller, and it's a video game. There's not many kids who've probably seen too many pinball machines that are real, I'm guessing.
Well, if you're raising them right, they have.
Well, yeah, but
It does have cool art. It looks nice as a piece of furniture. I'm just not all that into the screen. But I put it on the gift guide because I think there will be people who are, or people who like Arcade 1-Up enough to get this to put next to their machines in their home arcades. And one other game I just came across is Marvel Chess. And they come out with these once in a while, but this is a more affordable chess set than, say, trying to get all those Eagle Moss pieces. I've been subscribed to them for years, and it's like $60 every other month for years. But this is actually a chess set in a box, and as a chess player, one of the problems when you have these kinds of chess sets is you can't actually play with them, because you're in the middle of the game and you're like, crap, was Venom a bishop or a knight? You know?
Right.
But these have little bases with symbols on them, so you can actually play and look at the symbols as well as have all these Marvel characters out in the game. I don't know in what world Thanos and Kingpin team up, but okay. But, you know, Marvel collectors, chess fans, if that Venn diagram fits the person you're buying for, this is a good price at Box Lunch for Black Friday, too, 30% off.
another great item to get, and this might be like a little pre-Christmas gift or a Christmas Eve gift, is they released the holiday Funko Pops again. They've had that cap with this as a snowman for, what, a year or two now? And same with Thanos. Have they had that Deadpool before, Arnie?
Yeah, I had to look him up too. I couldn't remember if Deadpool with a turkey came out last year. But yeah, all of these came out last year, but they've shipped them again because, I mean, these are Christmas decorations. We had them decorating our mantle with garland last year.
Yeah, and they're kind of cute to put out at the holidays and different things. And I mean, Cap is a snowman. It's super duper adorable.
I like that Thanos, this is a deep cut. Thanos is wearing a Christmas sweater with Ghost Rider on it because in Cosmic Ghost Rider raised Thanos from a baby.
Oh, got it.
I just like the idea of Thanos wearing a Christmas sweater. That's funny.
You think he dressed up on that farmer planet? You know, he didn't always wear just the tank top. Put on a sweater, celebrated Christmas 5 times until the Avengers finally found him.
Right.
Royal Selangor, which is a company that has come to light in the last year or two, couple of years, with some Star Wars and Marvel stuff, is just banging out all kinds of stuff in pewter. So you're getting a solid pewter item. They have varying size of figures, but they've started doing these little comic cover scenes, and they've got quite a few of them out there. I think the Hulk one might be my favorite, but the Spider-Man one I think looks really great too. $500, but they are extremely limited to under 1,000 pieces. So this fits a good gift category. It's expensive, something someone wouldn't buy for themselves, and it's an extremely limited item.
I do like the comic covers, and I like that the background is color with the front being pewter, or they have another one where the background is black and white, but Spider-Man is gold pewter, and they've got 3 different Hulks also, gold, green, or pewter colored, and, you know, I just like that they do the cover type thing with them instead of, they've got a number of just pewter figures that aren't quite as good, and the Hulk one is almost 9 inches, I mean, Hulk big.
Yeah, to me, the cover is what sells it. Like, you know, to have the 3D representation popping off the front page is what sells this as a cool thing. And I like how they're subdued. You know, this is something that would work well in like an executive office on a shelf. Because if you put this amongst a collection of action figures, it's just going to get lost visually with all the other colorful things around it.
I agree, but yeah, you're right. This would look really nice on its own as a desk item away from your collection, or if your desk is in your collection, just as a desk item. And I agree, Marjorie, this is something most people will not buy for themselves and could be a really special item.
Exactly. It's just something you're like, oh, I know you really like Spider-Man and I have money to burn. Another big thing this year is puzzles, because we're all trapped inside our houses. And Twink has a really cool, amazing Spider-Man puzzle, and it's cover number 151, and I think this looks really difficult with the water, and I think this one would be really challenging.
I kind of want to do this. Is that wrong? It looks fun.
Maybe Santa will bring it to you.
That looks like a really fun one, and you're right, it looks challenging because of the border. Look at how much that's just a repeated black pattern.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. This is the kind of one that you end up smashing and throwing off the table halfway through.
Yeah, even if you think you're like getting into like, oh, well, we're starting to see some detail here. Oh, nope, it's just more water.
Yes, exactly.
But it's only 500 pieces. I don't think that's going to be too maddening. If this was 3,000 pieces, oh my God.
Well, Brock does a lot of puzzles, and some of the ones he's done have been a little mind-boggling with the number of colors or the repetitive patterns. So I'm sure that we can get this one done. We may regret it, but I think we can do it.
What confuses me is that people build puzzles, and then when they're done, all right, that was fun, break it apart again.
Yeah, what kind of madness is that?
Right? You gotta laminate that thing, frame it, do something.
Speaking of puzzles, there's something I saw at Toy Fair that I bought, and a lot of people may not know about. There's a company that does what they call 4D puzzles, but they're really, there's no the time, I guess, that you spend doing it. But they have Marvel puzzles. There's an 818-piece new Manhattan puzzle with Avengers Tower, Stark Tower in that.
Ooh.
And so you're putting together all the buildings and everything. I raced out to get this. This is primarily available in England, but there's many of them on eBay for around $50. And then there's the Stark Tower one. This one looks a little bit easier. It's just 63 pieces. You glue that one together in order to stay. So it's more of a model kit, but it's only about $25.
Huh. So somewhere between puzzle and Lego lies the 3D puzzle.
Well, remember those were the big thing in the 90s. I remember having a Millennium Falcon 3D puzzle.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they had an R2-D2 kind of similar to this.
Although, now that I'm looking at it, I still love it. I still think it's a good gift, but the Manhattan one seems to me now like a combination between SimCity and Risk. I place this building here, Public Works goes there.
Needs to come with a spinner or some dice or something.
You could also buy some jewelry for the man or woman in your life. What's Your Passion Jewelry has a line of Marvel jewelry, and they have infinity beads, which are kind of like the Pandora ones. They're cheaper and look just as nice, FYI. But they've got a wide range of infinity beads, and they've also got these Spider-Man rings that look like almost like class rings. I don't know, they have them for men and women, but they're $300 with sterling silver and gold plating. But those would be a nice gift because you're giving someone jewelry.
So are you saying that I can buy you this infinity beads bracelet and then I have gift giving done forever, like the Pandora one? There's that SNL sketch. Oh, Christmas. What'd you get him? A 3-way. What'd he get you? a charm of a cross because I'm a nurse.
A soccer ball because our kid plays soccer.
Yeah, that's So I'm not saying I want those, but I'm just saying they're out there.
As for the Spider-Man thing, that's not my style. I couldn't even wear my class ring all that long. It was like 2 months before I felt like it was too ostentatious.
I want to see the poor sap who ends up with a Spider-Man indentation on his forehead from making fun of the guy wearing this ring.
Yeah, they had like Doctor Strange ones that were this size, and I think a Black Panther one. So yeah, it's kind of a certain subsect of jewelry, such as the kind of person who would wear that and tell you the thing, perhaps. And I can say that because those are my relatives.
Yeah, I mean, no judgment whatsoever. Just because Justin and I wouldn't wear this doesn't mean that if I was at a con and saw somebody wearing this, I wouldn't be like, damn, I wish I could pull that off.
No, I'd probably actually, if it was someone friendly, I'd be like, hey, can I see that? Because I'd like to see one, because I never looked at their rings when they're at cons, because they have been at Comic-Con, C2E2, I believe they were at New York Comic-Con also, and I think I bought a Black Widow necklace from them once.
You did?
Okay. I'd probably look at these just to see the quality, because it's hard to tell on the website, and the Spider-Man one, honestly, it was a little tricky, I think, for them to do photography on because of the pattern and the shininess. Now, about a month ago, Arnie and I were frantically refreshing our carts at the Coach outlet store, and we talked about it on our show, buying the Marvel collection. There are some items left, and while it says 70% off, that's just what the Coach outlet charges. But they do have some items left, from tote bags to laptop bags, and they have a lot of Captain Marvel stuff available. And there are a few Spider-Man things. There's the bag and some shirts. But again, that makes a great gift for somebody too.
Yeah, I would totally buy you one of these purses because I know you love Coach if you hadn't just, had a supermarket sweep kind of night when these were all released, which is good because you got the ones you wanted, but there's still some really nice ones left.
Yeah, there are. And, Coach has quality stuff, and they will stand behind their warranty. And on the chances you are going out, I mean, you can be fashionable with these.
Keeping in mind accessories, Groovelife is a company that makes silicone watch bands and rings and things, and they have now entered a Marvel line of rings. And as you can see, they range from the basic with just a little symbol on them to some black and white comic art to full comic page type art. And I'm not the kind of guy who wears a wedding ring regularly. I used to take it off all the time at work because it was troublesome to type. You have to take it off if you're doing any hardware kind of work, because we've known people who had their entire finger torn off because the ring got caught.
Now, I have witnessed a degloving when I worked at Target in college, and these silicone rings would have probably prevented that. But the coworker was climbing down the shelving in the back, which should not have been done. And they have these little hooks where you can put signs and stuff, and they just they point up instead of down. And as she was climbing, she scraped her hand along that, and her ring got caught, and then degloved her finger.
That means the skin came off. That doesn't mean she was wearing gloves, folks.
That's correct. Yes, that means the skin just kind of went whoop.
Like a banana.
Like a banana, yeah, but it didn't peel. But these kinds of things would have prevented it. These are safe. They're good for when you're washing dishes and stuff. You're not going to cry if this goes down the drain. I'd cry if my wedding ring went down the drain.
These are sold as wedding rings. Some people are using them, if you do a lot of lifting, if you do a lot of construction, anything like that. This is a safe option that's also a little bit fashionable. I actually kind of like just the black silicone ring idea.
These are big in the sports world. I'll tell you that. Lots of pro athletes are promoting these because they can keep them on all the time and not worry about some of the gruesome injuries we've been talking about. But this is closer to my style of jewelry. I'm not a big blingy guy, but that Avengers A logo on a black band, that's cool.
Yeah, I wanted to bring these up again. It's giving jewelry. In my case, it would give me an alternate wedding ring. I'd always have the gold one Marjorie gave me, but since I do take it off a lot, I'd have something to be off the market, ladies. As if having a big comic book on my finger would really draw them.
So yeah, these are a great option, I think, and I think they make a great gift for the man or woman in your life.
Yeah, they have both men's and women's sizes.
Mm-hmm. Well, spoiler, they can just be sizes for anybody. I mean, my fingers are not shaped differently than you. Another great gift to get somebody is an Apple Watch band if they have the Apple Watch, because you can get fun decorative ones now from Deco Wrist. They have some Marvel ones. There's Iron Man, some Spider-Man, and just like some general Marvel with all the characters. But these are kind of a fun gift because, you know, sometimes people get tired of the plain wristband or they want something fancy. And, you know, it's kind of like a nice thing that maybe someone wouldn't buy for themselves. And they run about $33.
Nice. Yeah, and just one thing to keep in mind is you got to make sure you know what size of watch they have. They come in 2 different sizes.
Yes, definitely that. And they have different attachments, too, now. Some of the later models have not the pin attachment. It's slightly different.
Oh.
It's sad because the one I would really like from this is sold out. They have a Marvel logo one that's just kind of a tan color. It's got the shield, the hammer, the spider, Iron Man's face, but that one's sold out. You know, I love attractive watches. The Apple Watch is so useful. I think it's the only watch I would ever wear anymore. But things that would accessorize it or make it feel a little more branded, like that kind of a wristband with a nice background faceplate, is pretty close. I mean, I would love this Citizen watch that we have next. The Citizen watches, I've seen these at cons. Freaking gorgeous. I almost bought a giant Spider-Man one. It was huge. It was red and blue and gorgeous. This Tony Stark one, the gold. I mean, these are fancy, nice watches, but I'd love this watch, but I don't know that I'd ever wear this watch.
Yeah, it just tells the time.
Yeah. It doesn't tell me if I have a message. It doesn't tell me if I'm a little panicky and I need to breathe.
But it is cool because at a glance, it looks like a fancy watch. But if you look at it a little closer, it's a nice homage to Tony Stark.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice, classy watch, and one a grown-up would wear. And I like how it says, proof that Tony Stark has a heart. So maybe it does do heart monitoring. Otherwise, that would be a downside to it. But yeah, it doesn't tell you anything other than the time, so not really sure what you do with it.
It's got a date.
I'm going to give people a tip, though. At the con, Citizen was making a big deal that all watches were half off, which makes me think that that's actually the price. So you could probably find this in the $250 to $300 range if you'll shop around. But it's a really nice watch.
If you go to the Citizen website, these watches are considerably cheaper than they are on the Shop Disney site. And it looks like they're having a big Black Friday sale where there's going to be even more off of them. So don't buy them at Shop Disney. Another great gifty item over at Twink, and it's made by 720, which is a company that I absolutely love their housewares products because they do really nice designs on a lot of them. And their Star Wars line is amazing with the household items they made, like the pillows and things. But on the Marvel side, they're still branching out. And right now they've added a Captain America pizza cutter because that's super fun, and a Captain America barbecue set. So while your dad's out there flipping burgers, he can be imprinting Captain America's shield while he's pressing them down.
I really like that pizza cutter. I wish it was colored, but, you've given me certain items like this in the past, and I do think they make good gifts. They're fun, they're useful, I don't consider them collectibles. I use my grill tools, but it makes me feel like I'm having more fun when I grill.
They're not made from vibranium, though.
No, they are not.
Something else that I buy quite a bit, I get most of them at Shop Disney, but sometimes I find them at like Macy's and things. There are a lot of Marvel ties, and you can get ostentatious ones. I love like the 2 Marjorie picked here that are so subtle. Like you can barely tell that yellow and blue tie has tiny Wolverines on it.
And if you look, it kind of looks like wings.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I couldn't tell if that was a Marvel-inspired tie or not. Like, it just looks like a nice tie. But now I see the Wolverine.
And the Spider-Man one, if you're at a little bit of a distance, you're just going to think it's a red and black tie. But yet, if you get up close, you find out it's little Spider-Mans. And I have several of these ties. I went from work to a movie, and the person at the concession stand complimented me on my tie, and I looked, I said, yeah, look really close. It's Iron Man. And she'd be like, oh my God, I didn't realize that. So it was kind of fun. Shop Disney has several of these. Again, for people who are a little bit more open with it, then you can get really big logos. Me, I kind of like it a little bit on the DL. It feels like I'm getting away with something when I have to wear a tie to work. Eventually, when I go back to the office, I did have to wear a tie when I was going to the office. It made me feel like, yeah, you're making me wear a tie, but it's Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, if these were around when I was in high school, I would have been all over it because, like, we had to wear ties in high school, and, you know, I did go for the most gaudy stuff to wear, you know, big pictures of golfers and stuff, but, man, if Marvel was making ties back then, I would have been all over it.
But since it's 2020, maybe you don't need a tie, maybe you need a mask. I know Shop Disney has put out a few Marvel masks. I wasn't too enthralled with their designs, but then Mask Club got the license and has all kinds of masks. Again, talking about some subtlety, I'd totally wear that Black Panther mask on the right, where people might just think it's a cool design, but it's Black Panther.
Yeah. Yeah, the Spider-Man one is cool, but I think that's more for, you know, a kid type of thing. But yeah, I kind of like how they're getting creative with some of these masks, you know, and that Black Panther one is just neat looking.
Yeah, and I mean, I hope for the best and brightest 2021 possible, but there is no real end date as to when we have to wear these masks, so I'm kind of getting into the accessorizing of them, you know, like which one matches my shirt today. It is like a necktie in certain regards.
Yeah.
I have different masks for different occasions, and so yeah, you can find a mask here. They have dozens of designs. I just picked a couple that show the range of full comic panel to slightly subtle kind of patterns that can be Marvel fun. And we're supposed to get 4 Marvel movies in theaters next year. So you could buy like 4 different masks, one for each movie.
Nice.
Now, something I came across that I am totally enthralled with and I think make good gifts. You know, you always buy clothes for people at Christmas. It's a kind of a typical gift. Neckties are a typical gift. But Team Liquid, which I hadn't heard of, but it is an esports brand. So gamers, professional gamers. And they have a line of clothing, several lines of clothing, and they've partnered with Marvel for some of the most unique Marvel clothing I've ever seen. Instead of just going and buying them that same JCPenney Deadpool shirt that everybody has, here are some really cool designs, men and women, that have some flair to them. Some are subtle, some look a little bit acid wash, tie-dye kind of thing, and nothing have I seen any other shop have that's similar to these designs. And if you're buying this for somebody who is a big gamer, you can even have it personalized with their gamer tag.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll agree with you. There's a lot of cool, unique styles in here, and even some, you know, kind of like silky jersey style type of items, which is always kind of cool and unique.
I totally love that black satiny Black Widow shirt. And how many times are they going to make a men's Black Widow shirt? You know, that actually looks like something a man would wear. And I like that X-Men shirt. They have his and her sizes in that. They have crop tops for women. It's just a nice line of clothing. I picked a few examples here. They're expensive. The shirts are around $80. I think that makes it a better gift that way, though. And just knowing what the person you're buying for would wear. I currently have like 8 in my shopping cart, and I'm trying to pare it down so I don't spend my whole Christmas budget on some Team Liquid clothes. But I love these.
You don't have the cap sweatshirt that says Liquid on the crotch, do you, in your cart?
I should buy this, because then you'll steal it as you have all my other sweatshirts.
Oh.
It's basically a gift for you.
Huh.
The hoodie thievery.
And it has that wonderful marsupial pouch.
Those hoodies are the best with the marsupial pouch.
I have to say, if I was still playing soccer at any level of seriousness, I would be very tempted to get the whole team the Spider-Man jerseys.
That would be a lot of fun. I view this as something I might actually wear to a con. It's not something I like bum around the house in COVID times in. But if there was a con, this would be a shirt I would so totally wear and look different than all the people who like went to Macy's or, you know, even superhero hype type people who have unique designs. This'll stand out. And they have extended sizes for men and women. Not a lot of unique clothing items do. Something else I came across, I've never heard of Everyman Jack, but I guess that's why you license, is to bring people's attention to your product. They have partnered with Marvel for body wash, 3-in-1 shower wash, I guess that's shampoo, body wash, and I don't want to know what the third one is.
That's the I don't care about my skin or hair wash.
They have deodorants, and what I found most useful in the age of COVID, they have refillable soap pumps. And they have a gift set of the 4 flavors of body wash. Each hero here has its own line of flavor. And if you go to Walmart, they actually have gift sets. And again, my father, every Christmas, he wanted it and we bought it. He wanted soap on a rope. It was just an annual gift. And so, at least in my mind, soaps and body washes and things are a gift you give. And at Walmart, they have these deodorant body wash 2-packs that a friend of a friend who works at Walmart says these things don't stay in stock. So if you want these 2-packs, grab them when you see them at Walmart, or you can buy these at Everyman Jack's website. I'll admit, I bought some of these and I think they have a wonderfully subtle smell.
Nice. Yeah, sometimes these things are really perfumey smelling or smell like, you know, musky or something like that, and that's not good in 2020. That's the smell of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, today's man wants to smell fresh.
Oh my God, now this really does feel like Everyman Jack should sponsor us. Today's man wants to smell fresh. Smell fresh with Everyman Jack. This feels like we just broke into one of those podcast ads that has nothing to do with the show. But no, I bought the line of these so I could sniff them and actually use them and see, you know, I also have allergies and sometimes these things don't agree. I haven't had any problems so far with the scents on these. So yeah, these are a nice traditional gift that's Marvel, that also stays in your home. It's useful, and it's not advertising, hey, I'm a geek. Another thing I got, and I think these make great gifts, I'm not just saying this because they have a Marvel license. Maglite is the flashlight, right? I mean, there's nothing more sturdy. You can't break one of those metal Maglights. We have one to find our dogs in the backyard at night. I feel like a police officer just with a searchlight.
Look, it's very heavy, so I could really do some damage with that.
Yeah, there's just something about a good, hefty feeling flashlight in your hand. And like you said, Maglite is the champ of that. Like, they're the ones who kind of started this revolution of flashlights that we see now. Like, if you walk down the aisle at Walmart, there's just all these different brands of 10,000 luminance and all that stuff. But Maglite is the granddaddy of this stuff.
Well, they have 3 different characters that they're doing. They have Punisher black flashlights. Little controversial in this day and age, but, you know, it's probably the most badass flashlight. The second is Venom, so it's just, you know, the same black flashlights, but Venom logo. And then they've got Spider-Man with red flashlights, coming in 3 different sizes, keychain, LED 3-cell AAA, or the big Mamma Jamma classic, I'm looking for something Maglite.
Do you know how fast you were going?
It really does feel like I'm doing that for my dogs. Like, sir, please stop pooping in the lawn. Again, it's a useful gift, it's a fun gift, and it's got a Marvel logo on it, so it makes it even more fun still. And the keychain ones, I can't believe how bright those things get.
Yeah, it's impressive what they've done with flashlight technology over the years.
The next gift I put in here because I'm strangely drawn to it. Maybe this isn't a good gift. I'm looking to you two guys to possibly veto. I keep seeing ads for the Bradford Exchange on Facebook. They've got all this Marvel stuff and most of it's utter crap. They have a banner turning into a Hulk statue that's enormously cheesy, a bad lamp. But then all of a sudden I find this silver ingot collection. And it's 99.9% silver plated ingots with Marvel heroes.
What the heck is an ingot?
It's the shape that they melt fine metals into.
Thank you. Oh, like the silver pieces. Like the gifty silver. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. I didn't know that's what they were called.
If you look at them close up, I really think that this is classic comic art, like 70s Marvel art of She-Hulk, before she transformed into a lawyer and then transformed into a bigger beast and all of that. Or Captain America. This is the kind of art you'd see in like the panel in the corner of the Marvel comics. But on the silver, I think it's really popping. And in the display with the Marvel comics in the middle, and it's a gift that keeps on giving because each one of these is an issue and it's $50 a piece. So you can buy them a big series.
So this seems like something made for grandmas to buy.
Quite possibly, but it's the ingot of the month club.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool looking. I mean, I think there'd need to be some sort of like crossover hobbies going on here. Like you're a Marvel person, but you're also into precious metals, or maybe you already have some other ingot collection going on. I don't know.
If you have an ingot collection, please email me a photo. I would really love to see it. I'm not being sarcastic at all. I just want to know what that looks like. And then something that I'm putting on here because I use these. Neo Chair Marvel chairs. I was scared to death early this year because I couldn't find one of these. I bought Marjorie, the Captain America one pictured there. She loves it. It's comfortable. It's durable. And I wanted one for myself, all sold out. COVID actually hit the manufacturing center. I was so glad they're not out of business. They have all these are gamer chairs that we're looking at here. They have all types of different characters, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Iron Man, Cap, and they're comfortable. They don't use crappy cushions. They're a little tricky to build, but once you have it built, completely adjustable and very comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, they look like car seats, like directly out of like a sports car or something that they just put onto an office chair. So they look comfy as hell.
Yeah, it is super comfy for an office chair, because a lot of times office chairs, it's like the bench they don't want you to sit too long in. They don't think that you're going to be sitting in it, a couple hours at a time, but this one is made for gaming, so it's like super cushy. And the other thing is it has a lot of adjustment, so like when my back hurts, I can pump up the lumbar support, and that comes with a little lumbar pillow that you can also put back there, which is helpful.
And again, they have these also in extended weight capacities. So you can get these for people of any size. And they also just started a cheaper line of mesh back office chairs where they like silk screened Marvel designs onto them. So if you just like a classic mesh back chair, you can still get a little Marvel flair. And they promise these assemble in under 1 minute.
Wow. That must mean that you must just pop the full top of the chair onto the peg of the base.
I think you pop the back on and pop the chair down on the base, and that's about it versus all the screws and things you have to do for the gaming chair. And they come with or without headrest, depending on, you want to pay a little extra for a headrest, I would. But some really fun office chairs that are actually comfortable, not just Marvel style. I try to avoid all the crap. I mean, Marvel seems a little indiscriminate about what they'll license, so I'm trying to focus on the stuff that's really good, and these chairs are really good.
And I like the artwork on these mesh chairs too. Like I would like posters of those, kind of that minimalistic, silhouette style. Those are cool looking.
And then we're kind of closing out here with some of the usuals that I think make great gifts. Disney Plus, if you don't have it yet in your house, you can actually gift a year of Disney Plus to somebody. So you don't even have to live in their house. You can give them a year, and I think this next year is more important than ever. I've had it since launch day, and it's great with all the Marvel content it has. Most of the movies, the old X-Men animated series cartoons, I can't get enough of watching those. A lot of other cartoons, the Spider-Woman cartoon from 1979, I don't know who but me remembers that. But in January, we get WandaVision, and that's, I read an article just today that Marvel Studios is putting all of their effort into these Disney Plus TV shows because the movie making is a bit of an assembly line by now. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it for 12 years. The movies, they can put a little bit less attention towards, but they've never done these types of limited series before. So Kevin Feige and everybody has their full attention on how to make this work. And of course, Marjorie couldn't be more excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier. We don't know when that's airing, though.
No, but they have gone back to filming, or they did a little bit ago, and a number of the photos from the sets are leaking.
I'm getting excited about these shows because the more I hear about it, the more, like you said, they're going to be integral to, this phase 4, phase 5 type of stuff going on that's going to end up in theaters, much more so than, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Peggy Carter ever were. So, yeah, I can't wait for January and WandaVision finally debuts.
And then last Friday, a show debuted that really you should check out, or it's a reason, again, to have a Disney Plus subscription, Marvel 616. Fortunately, they didn't drib and drab these out one a week. They put them all out at once. Each episode is devoted to looking at a specific area of Marvel and not just the comics. The episode I immediately jumped to was the Hasbro episode, and Funko's in there a little bit too, looking at how Hasbro toys are made from concept to production and getting to know the people behind them. One of our listeners sent me a message and said they watched the episode at my recommendation, and it was great to put a face to the names they've heard voices of on our show. And more than the live streams, you actually get to know the people, whereas on the live streams, you get to see them talk about what's new, and that's about it.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch any of these yet, but it's definitely on my list of post-Thanksgiving dinner things I have to watch. I'm pretty excited to see the episode you're talking about with Dwight and crew and get some behind-the-scenes information going on.
Yeah, everybody did such a great job in it. It's got Ryan, Dwight, Jesse, and Dave Vonner.
Nice.
And also they have an episode devoted to what I thought was just my secret passion, but I'm discovering many people share it, Japanese Spider-Man. Hey, wow!
I was going to ask you to do it, but you did it all on your own.
Yeah. Oh, no. I think it's his ringtone.
It is. It went off in a meeting one time, and the looks I got of what was that? And they came out with the Mezco figure this year. I should have put the Mezco figure on the gift guide. I'm adding it right now. Mezco Japanese Spider-Man is awesome. But to have an entire episode where they actually found some of the creators and actors who did the show in the 70s and talked to them.
Cool.
And finally, I think it's an annual thing I say. You can always give a year of Marvel Unlimited. I use this more and more every year. It saves me a lot of money. I used to buy comics to read them, and now I give them $100 a year, and I get to read. They keep adding more comics. It's currently got over 28,000 digital comics.
Whoa.
I remember when they launched, they had 8,000 digital comics and promised more were coming, and I and many others were like, well, does that mean there's like a rotation? Is it going to be like Netflix where this month you get some X-Men and the next month you get some Spider-Man and there's always 8,000? No, they just keep adding and adding and adding. When I wanted to read Age of Apocalypse earlier this year, tapped the app. I had the entire Age of Apocalypse run with all the tie-in issues and everything. They had a reading list for me. I just was able to read straight through it and not spend a dime more than I'm spending and get the exclusive Marvel Legends figure with its welcome kit.
Nice.
And if there's ever cons again, maybe they'll have that special panel for the unlimited subscribers.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like every year I look at it and I think about it and I've only pulled the trigger a couple times on it, but to be honest with you, if somebody gifted it to me, I'd be over the moon. I'd be like, yeah, this is a perfect gift because now I don't feel obligated to use it all the time just because I spent my own money on it. Now I'll use it at my own leisure, and that just makes it really, really worthwhile at that point.
As a figure collector who's read a lot of comics but doesn't know every corner of the Marvel Universe, I find this invaluable. Like, when all that Cosmic Ghost Rider stuff came out, I was like, all right, what's the deal with Cosmic Ghost Rider? I want to know. And I just tapped into the app, read that, and loved that run. So, again, nothing we mentioned on this show are we making a dime off of. It may sound like I'm sitting here hawking this stuff, but this is genuine, folks. I really love this, and I think that somebody who doesn't have it and likes Legends gets the extra figure and can just go and read one here, one there if they want to. I think it's a great gift.
Agreed.
And with that, that is our 2020 10th annual holiday gift guide.
Woohoo!
It's a lot of gifts.
You know, it's Thanksgiving Day. I'm thankful for you guys and everybody who works on this show. I'm thankful for 10 years of having as much fun talking about Marvel toys as I have buying and displaying and playing with Marvel toys.
Right back at you. It's been a fun 10 years, and I think we've got another 10 in us. What do you guys say?
Absolutely. And then, we'll be doing it from the old folks' home.
I mean, we persevered through a plague. We persevered through personal illness. We will continue to persevere whatever 2021 can throw at us. Hasbro, you keep making them. We'll keep reviewing them. And we're going to be back in a couple of weeks with our year-end wrap-up show. Going to do it a little earlier than New Year's this year, with COVID and everything. Take a little extra time for the holidays, but we will come back and let you know what we think the highlights and maybe some lowlights of 2020 were when it comes to collecting.
So all that and more on the next Marvelicious Toys.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Marvelicious Toys. There's even more Marvelicious content at our website, marvelicioustoys.com. You can see pictures of the products we discussed, find checklists for collectibles, and read articles on Marvel movies, comics, and collecting. It's all at marvelicioustoys.com. You can also help out our show by telling your friends to listen by posting on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or in person. We would also greatly appreciate a 5-star review written on iTunes. A link to our iTunes feed is at marvelicioustoys.com. We want your feedback. You can email us at show@marvelicioustoys.com or find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Find all those links at our website. If you also like Star Wars collecting is covered at our other podcast, Star Wars Action News, which you can find at swactionnews.com. Marvelicious Toys is produced and edited by Arnie Carvalho. Associate produced by Jason Latham. Video editing by Andrew and Daryl. Graphic design by Justin. Photo editing by Jeff and Curtis. Announcements by Brock. If you want to hear reviews of every movie ever based on Marvel Comics, check out those reviews and hundreds more on the Now Playing Podcast at nowplayingpodcast.com. Marvel Comics and all that the Marvel Multiverse contains are the intellectual property of Marvel Entertainment Incorporated, a subsidiary of the Walt Disney Company, and no infringement is intended. Marvelicious Toys is a Venganza Media production, copyright 2020, all rights reserved, and no part of this show may be reproduced, repurposed, or redistributed without the written permission of Venganza Media Incorporated.
Yeah, like it's on display at like service merchandise or something,
Yes.
2 words to the wise, service merchandise. Are they even still in business?
Absolutely not. They might have a website or something, but there's...
I haven't thought of service merchandise since 1988.
I was going to say, like, when did they quit selling Atari consoles? Because that's about the last time I was in one.
I witnessed a degloving when I worked at Target in college from somebody's ring that got caught on the shelves in the back. I've witnessed some horrific retail accidents, but they were climbing down. I witnessed a death, and I didn't witness it. I saw the aftermath of it and had to call 911. So that was
let's stick to the defingering.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah.
It's like Marjorie's confessions. I witnessed a death. That's after Thanksgiving when you've had a few too many drinks.
That's true. Okay.